You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy podcast network.
Damn, Daniel.
Over the middle, touchdown Giants.
Taken away by Wicks. Oh, it's glorious!
It's Pettis to Jones. Oh, what a catch by Daniel Jones!
Cleared as far as Saeed Ben Rama.
And we are live.
We'll do it live.
Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football. Balls for everyone's taste. I'm Mike Fish and I'm joined as always by Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I liked how your voice just was like rising that entire. Alex Middleton. That's good.
Thanks. I've been working on it. I've been warming up the vocals. How you been? What have you been up to in the last 7 days? What adventures have thou been on?
I've been doing a new podcast. Picking up the Big Brother podcast. So mostly...
Oh, I thought you said a new podcast. I was like, God damn, another one?
No, just one that, like it's only like seasonal, and that kind of picked up, and so a lot of that, just a lot of that. Went to Monster Jam with my the morning show, and you know me, big truck guy.
Did you get to sit in the big truck and go rum rum?
I did not like drive it, but we hung out in the pit with the Rod Ryan show, Monster Truck, which was pretty cool.
Was it an open bar situation?
It was not. It was a hang out, take pictures kind of situation, but it was fun.
Was there at least alcohol available?
There was alcohol that I didn't consume there.
Oh, you stayed sober the whole month?
I just went to the pit party. Like, it was work for me. Went to the pit party, got to hang out, shaking hands, and I guess not really kissing babies because we were masked up. So it's kind of, meet and greet kind of thing.
Just shaking hands and brushing babies with your mask.
And yeah, commenting on how cool babies were. Like, nice baby. Like,
you did well there.
That's right. Hey, good baby, right? And they're like,
I've seen a lot of ugly babies in my time, and this isn't one of them. Well done.
No, hey, congrats on that kid. Thanks. That's a weird way to compliment me on my child, but I'm like, you know what? You'll always remember it now.
And then you just point to their nutsack and be like, you nailed that one. You nailed it. Well done, boys.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, that might have got weird. So lots of stuff to talk about. 2 West Ham games. As I said I tweeted out, this past week for West Ham, the last 2 games were a lot like losing your virginity in Amsterdam. It's probably not pretty. It's a little sloppy, but you'll take it.
Yeah.
But before because I guess we have to. It's not the elephant in the room. Kurt Zuma, naughty boy, what a fucking idiot.
Can we call it a catastrophe?
Indeed, you can.
Catastrophe at West Ham.
Like,
that's your headline.
I'm sure by now, because this is an extremely niche podcast, late on Tuesday, and this came out late Monday night. So I'm sure if you are a West Ham fan and you're watching this, I'm sure you've heard many people talk about it already, and you have your views on it. But not that you should ever do anything like this. This was bad. But this also brings to the point of, why do people feel the need to put every fucking thing on the internet? Like,
it's the damn TikTok, Mike. It's the damn TikTok, I tell you.
He shouldn't have kicked the cat.
They're ticking and they're talking and they're sharing it to the world. I think it makes him cool.
Like, don't kick the cat. But what part of his brother's brain was like, this is gonna get so many likes?
This cat kicking video is gonna go well.
This is gonna be like the new trend.
Positives are gonna come out of this. Yeah, not great. And then also doing my research for the pod. Did you know Kurt Zuma is actually a spokesman for a big cat rescue? charity.
Please tell me you made that up.
I'm not making that up.
See, that makes it even worse because like you coward. So you big it up for the big cats.
Not a great look.
You pick on the little cats.
Technically, I don't know. Now I don't know cats as well as I know trucks, like I said earlier. But
big truck guy.
It was said it was a Bengal cat, which I don't know if that's just like a big. It didn't look like a big cat in the video we saw.
Well, isn't that
like it might have been a small cat, but I don't think it was a tiger. Like there's those like fancy, there's like big, like there's like house cats I guess people get, but they're not really house cats. They're like bobcat sized, but like I don't know. I know it's
isn't that like the same as the Cincinnati Bengals?
A Bengal's like a tiger, but like I don't know if that was like a house cat that he was kicking. Not that it justifies any of that, but it's like I don't know if that's one of those special cats.
Yeah, I'm not a real cat guy either.
Talking cats, maybe it was an ocelot. I don't know.
Maybe it broke in and he was defending his house.
That's not how it looked. Because I think it was like a kid that was in one of the videos holding it, and he slapped it, and it was like, all right, that's definitely, you shouldn't do that in front of a kid, but whatever. I mean, I don't know. It was weird that West Ham started him today. I did feel like, the fans were saying, boo, every time he touches the ball. Like, that's kind of sending a message, like, don't do that. Not condoning anything he did off the field, but on the field, didn't look bad. Really good.
Definitely didn't let it affect him.
At the outcome of the game, we needed that defense, and he was a big part of that defense. There were a couple plays that he made, and they were very beneficial to us. He actually brought the ball out a couple of different times, and I thought he made some pretty solid passes to help us almost create opportunities, which, if you want to just segue from that, I don't know, do you have any more cat takes? Carol Baskin is going to be fucking pissed, though, when she sees this.
Do you reckon she'll do a blog on it? A vlog?
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. We're here today to condemn what was done by West Ham defender
Curtis Zuma.
We here at the Claret and Big Blue podcast do not condone the kicking of cats. Disavow immediately. Disavow. That's our
Indeed.
Statement. Please release that in like a press release or something like that.
We'll do that. But yeah, do you want to go into today's game since it's fresh, or do you want to talk about the shit show of Kidderminster?
Hey, shit show. It was a win. Wins are wins are wins are wins. Let's go into today's first, though. Fresh.
Let's do it.
Fresh on the mind.
She's fresh, exciting. Boo-doo-boo-doo-boo. Big news though, yeah, before we get into the game, obviously everyone knows the result. We won, and Manchester United drew 1-1 against Burnley, which means West Ham back in the top 4.
Boys are back in town.
It's true.
The boys back in town.
Boys are back. Confirmed.
So yeah, what did you think of the game? I thought it was pretty... I mean, it wasn't a bad performance, but it wasn't like a very exciting performance.
If our team could work together at one time, if they could all just fire, if the midfield could work when the offense wants to go to town, if the defense could play well, then also have the offense. It's like we get one or the other. We either have to win like a shootout where it's like 2-3, or we're just going to have to hope it's a 1-0 game because our offense isn't going to do anything. I don't know. Benny didn't look great today. Antonio didn't look great today. Really, nobody up front besides Bowen looked good. Manu...
Lanzini looked okay when he came on.
But when he came in, he didn't start. I'm talking starters. Like, we got we had opportunities in the first half, but it was like Bowen created all of them. And even Bowen's goal was like, it was a ricochet that just kind of misdirected it into the net. Like, it was a sick goal. It was cool, but we should have had a couple other opportunities. I feel like it could have been a 3-0 game. It could also have been like a 3-1, 3-2 game. Fabianski looked pretty great in the opportunities he had to make saves in.
Clean sheet. I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's been rare with us this season. Bowen and Rice are just a step above everybody at this point right now. I think Cresswell played well. Zuma didn't play bad. Dawson had a really solid performance, the best performance I've seen Dawson have in a while, honestly. Yep. But
Soufal seems a little bit kind of sloppy a little bit with his
passing was a little like off. Yeah, I agree with you. But really, like Rice, there was that offside that they just let Watford run it out anyways. But Rice chased the guy down on an obvious offside. But Rice just gunned him down from midfield, and that was pretty awesome. And really, just like when Rice is coming in the midfield with the ball, like there's nothing you can do. That guy's he's gonna do what he wants at will. And I mean, I understand why there's always these rumors that Rice is getting all this attention from the big clubs because he's the best midfielder in the league.
In the Premier League. In his position, he's probably the best in the Premier League.
I think so too. Like, and he's leaps and bounds better than anybody. And it's just like. There were a couple times where he and I get it was Watford, so it's not the best competition. But like he just kind of stops. He'll stop, and it's like he just processes everything for a second, and then he takes that extra second to process what he's got to do, and he makes the play that way. And that's very rare right now, where it's like a lot of it is thinking on the fly. And Rice is very good at being it. He's skilled enough to be able to just turn it right back on and keep going. But it's like he'll just kind of stop at midfield, makes the pass, and then he goes and he sets himself up. And against Kidderminster, that's kind of how he scored that goal. He kind of stopped, paused, passed it outside, runs inside, sets himself up for that goal that eventually it ties it, sends us to extra time. And just he's got that, like, that's just, I don't even know what it is called. It's just like the timing that he has is just he's absolutely perfect in all of that. And like he's the best defender that like West Ham's had in a very, very, very long time. Just he's gonna stuff you every single time. He's great at not taking you out, not getting the yellow cards, but just doing just enough to get the job done. And then Bowen really, like the last 2 months, has just gotten better and better and better and better. And today, towards the end of the game, there was an opportunity that we had to take a 2-0 lead, and Bowen almost goes out of bounds, just kind of sidesteps back in, and then just keeps running down the sideline, taking out two guys. Like he's on another level right now. And thank God, because without the two of them, Kidderminster doesn't happen, and like today doesn't happen, because really they were the biggest difference in the game.
Do you think that they're stepping up so much that they're shining ahead of the rest of the team, or do you think, whether it be fatigue or whatever it might be, where the rest of the team are just kind of falling back and they're just like having to carry the...
I think it's a little bit of a combination of both. I know Ben Rama's been doing the AFCON stuff, so he might be a little bit gassed. He just hasn't looked like himself. And then, I don't know, Antonio, I guess he was doing Jamaica qualifying, so maybe that was it too. But so, I mean, Rice was doing qualifiers as well for England. I don't know. Antonio just seems like he's been gassed. We've talked about this for the last month or so, and
it might be a coincidence, but ever since he started playing for Jamaica, he's not been the same player.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe there's too much on his plate. I don't know.
Souček's tailed off a little bit. We just, I don't know. We're not all clicking at the same time. I do think though, like Rice is just it's fun to say we just have an elite, world-class athlete. Like West Ham isn't used to having those guys all the time, and the fact that like he is now like the best at his position in the Premier League. It's obvious when you see stuff like he can do the little pause pass, like, he can do that stuff that elite athletes do, and it's just we're not used to that. So we're like, wow, how's he so much better? It's because he's elite. He is elite. And Bowen was considered for a call up to the English team a little while ago. Like, I mean,
Gareth won't pull it because he's an idiot. Gareth only picks his friends.
Right, but like I'm saying, like Bowen was under consideration of it, and Bowen has been very much deserving of that. And just if we could get some more production from anybody else up front, having Bowen and Antonio clicking would just like we could have scored 4 goals today. We just it's him kind of doing it all by himself. And how many times was there a lob into the box that nobody was there for? That happened so many times today that just felt like we just lacked. Like we got the ball down the field. We got the ball to the other side. We just couldn't do anything once we got inside the box. And that's been West Ham's like biggest weakness this season. I mean, the defense, when we had the injuries, that was a weakness. But like this is just like with the starters in, this is what West Ham does from time to time, where you're just like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
I'm loving that we're still chipping away back, like I said, back in the top 4. But still, even though nothing's happened yet, I still can't help but worry in the back of my head. It's like, because this is it. This is all we've got. We have no real backup.
Right.
I don't want to harp on too much about, transfer window's closed. I'm not going to bitch about it anymore, but still, it's like,
this is our hand. This is our hand we got now. These are the guys we're riding with for the rest of the season. It's weird. We got the wins against teams you have to get wins against. You have to beat Kidderminster. You have to beat Watford, especially in the Premier League. You got to beat Watford. You got to get those teams that are at the bottom of the table. You got to be able to get the 3 points against them. And we were able to do that. And that's that's the difference in last year, us not making the Champions League, is because we dropped some games against teams we shouldn't have dropped games against. And yeah, you can say it with any team. But I felt like there were so many games that was like, a tie against Sheffield. That kind of fucked us. I think we were 2 points shy of Champions League.
Yeah.
I want to say 2 or 3 points shy. So a win against Sheffield, hypothetically that rockets us up into there. It's the little things that maybe they don't seem like a big deal now, but like a win against Watford, even though it wasn't the most impressive win, like I'm happy with it right now. We've got to improve. We've got to build on that, and that's what makes me nervous against Leicester. A Leicester team is going to be pissed off against. We've dominated Leicester, so that them at home are going to be very motivated come Sunday, and it'll be interesting.
And then we've got Newcastle as well. Newcastle are turning shit up as well. So we've got 2 tough games ahead of us. Yeah.
So that's really what I had to say about the Watford game. Bowen and Rice were the bright spots, and that Zuma deserved the booze.
So before I heard an interesting point on a radio show in England, and I kind of wanted to discuss it, see what your thoughts were. So they were talking about how Jack Grealish was sold by Aston Villa for like 120 million or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And you could argue, because they invested that money to get another 2 or 3 players in, that you could argue that they're in a better position now than they were when they had Jack Grealish on their team. Obviously, in an ideal world, well, let's say, ahead of the summer, a lot of speculation again. Every transfer window is that Declan Rice could be moved on to a bigger club, like I think realistically, Man City or Chelsea are the only 2 teams he'll go to.
United?
I don't think he'd go to United. They're a mess. I don't think he'd see the point of going to there. But do you think that would it not be the end of the world? Obviously, again, I'd like him to stay with us, but if we were realistically, if we are going to sell him this summer, we're probably going to get north of £100 million for him.
We would have to. He's going to get more than Grealish, right? Or is Grealish
I'd like to think so. But again, it weighs on, are we going to invest that money right? But if we do invest, and the way we have invested, realistically, with that money, we could get 3 or 4 decent players that fit into our side. Would you take that option?
I mean, that's the gamble you take on anything like that. Like you could not hit on any of those guys, and then you're out Rice, and your team just sucks now. And that's like you lose the best player at that position. But like if you can't fill that void quick enough, like we're gonna be back in a relegation battle, I feel like. And that's the big gamble on it. I mean, I think obviously you hope that Rice stays, unless somebody just gives you the bank. They're like, here, give us. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what's going on with the sale of this club. If the Czech owner is going to want to keep Rice, like if he's going to be a guy that's just like, let me build off of this, or like, is he going to be a guy that comes in, he's like, hey, I got some money. I'd like to spend that money on other people.
The only reason I'm kind of hopeful about the summer is because since our last episode, David Moyes did an interview by basically saying that, no, I had money available. I just didn't want to spend it because I didn't see anyone out there that I wanted to bring in, which is the January transfer window, which is typically the harder one. So
you gotta pay more to get something that's
and less people are available. Whereas in the summer, that's when people start coming up. We've got 1 year left in the contract, so teams are more willing to sell them because they don't want to lose them for free the following year.
Nothing, basically.
Get Lingard for nothing. So if that trend continues, I can see money being made available to David Moyes, and I think the number banded around was like 40 to 50 million pounds he had available to him. If we were to sell Declan Rice, that could
That's just a
potentially
lot of
bump it up
guys.
to 150. That could be a pretty decent purse for David Moyes to go out and spend some money.
I understand what you're saying there, but it's like that is a lot of guys, and just it's to me it's like when I bet more games. Like if I bet more games, the odds that I'm going to lose more games is higher because I'm betting more. So you're taking a gamble on each one of these guys that you're going to be bringing in, hoping that you're replacing Rice. And it's like, okay, so we get say we get 150 mil, so we've got $200 million to go spend. You can bring in 4 or 5 guys maybe for that, but bringing in 4 or 5 guys, you've got all the money to bring in extra guys, but then you also have a likelihood that 4 or 5 of those guys might not pan out, or that more of them may not pan out than do pan out. And that is a pessimistic way of thinking about it. But it's just like you have such a good deal right here. If you can get some more money, and I mean, with a new owner, right? Like a billionaire owner, maybe he's like, dude, let's just fucking go for it. We're right there. Maybe the Moyes system seems like it works well in a spot where you don't just have unlimited money too. And like if you can get somebody that can infuse a little bit more money into it, then like I don't know. I feel like Moyes has a system, and like he's a guy that you don't need to have Man City money to deal with. So if we can keep Rice and let Moyes kind of massage everything and like work it the way he is, like it's been like we've been up there. Like we're not gonna be winning the league every year, but like we competing for a Champions League spot every single season is something that I'm stoked about as a West Ham fan. And that's kind of, I think, the goal for this club. Like that's the ceiling, I would say. Like, yeah, maybe we fuck around and we can hang and be on a title hunt one day. But like Man City and United and Chelsea, those guys kind of have those top 3 spots kind of seem locked up for a little while right now. And it'll be interesting to see just like what happens with this. But if you move Rice, I think, yeah, you got to get all you can for it. I understand the positives of it, but there's a lot of negative that just makes me not want to move on just yet.
I think what would make me a little bit more willing would be, I mean, he hasn't really had enough time to show it, but when Alex Krall has played in that position, he hasn't lit the world on fire. So he's obviously not going to be the natural replacement for him. And then
unless we know the replacement.
Yeah, and then you run the risk of potentially changing the system and only having Souček in the middle. Who knows? But yeah, it's something to look forward to. I think we are. It's quite nice to be. This is our second season now in straight succession where we are there or thereabouts. Will we finish in the top 4? Who knows? But we're in the conversation still this far into the season. So hopefully that's enough to keep Declan Rice. Or
yeah,
maybe if there are opportunities out there, I am slowly maybe not. I'm not wishing we sell him. Definitely not. But I'm kind of, I guess, getting used to the idea because I think it's inevitable eventually within the next year or two.
You're not a big club, yeah. It's gonna
unless we win the Europa League this year or get the Champions League. But I think this is going to be it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of excited to find out who we're going to play in the Europa League because we've got I think it's at the end of this month that weird qualifying round is played.
Yeah.
And then we find out. But
we know we're playing the FA Cup?
Southampton.
Okay. That's a winnable game. How many teams are left at this point?
16.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the last 16 and the round 6 last 8 and then semi-finals, finals. I'm happy with that draw actually because after the Kidderminster performance, I'm glad we didn't get another small team because there's like Boreham Wood, who's like I think they're in the next step up from Kidderminster. But I was hoping
Molotov or whoever it was that beat Man United.
Middlesbrough.
Molotov.
Muzzle off.
Arlo White would have a field day if we were commenting about him and we said Mazel Tov FC.
Mazel Tov beat Man United. Congratulations.
Mazel Tov against Middletown.
Sounds like a fucking weird drunk depiction of Harry Potter.
It does. Those are the houses that they didn't come up. That they like cut at the last second. They're like, yeah, we only need 4.
Budget cuts.
Mazel Tov, you're out.
We had to close them. But yeah, so I'm glad we got it's a Premier League team that we can beat in the next round. Then it gets through to the last 8, and then who knows what happens. But all winnable games. How far ahead should we? I mean, we don't want to get too. We've got Leicester coming up next. Who knows? It's a winnable game. They're not playing too hot, but neither will we. And then we have Newcastle. By the way, we're going to do this live, I guess, because I forgot to ask you. Probability we're going to be taking a skip next week, right? Because our schedules don't line up next week.
We'll probably have to skip.
So for those loyal watchers live, we'll probably be skipping next week and then be returning the week after in a bumper episode.
It's all good, though.
It's all good. It's nice to take episode 60. We're taking a break. Then we're going to come back strong for 61. I think we've covered everything. Should we talk about some Giants stuff? We've got some football.
Not too much going on with the Giants, really. But I'm down. What you got? Why don't you start us off with some Giants talk?
It's more discussion, I guess. So we've got, I guess it's almost similar to, well, I'm not saying we have New York Giants as a Declan Rice on the squad. But talk about, free agency is coming up now. Before the draft, everyone kind of goes nuts. Is free agency season, is that typically before the draft or after draft? I forget. I'm trying to get my
before
timeline.
The draft, because you want to, like, if you get a big name free agent, you want to lock them in before the drafts, because then if you don't get your guy, if you go for somebody and they sign with somebody else, then you know what you need to draft. And that's kind of like the big name guys are going to go early, but then you're going to have the draft, and then you're going to have like a second group of free agents.
So there's been a lot of work. I mean, we've already picked up, I don't know how much, I think he's just been signed to kind of like the practice squad and kind of to feel him out.
We don't have like a full roster basically at this point, so you could cut people like in the preseason. But yeah, now like teams can load up with so many people.
But yeah, so we've picked up Jamie Gillan, the Scottish Hammer, a punter from Inverness in Scotland. Do you know much? I know he's played for the Browns, and I think he played for someone else.
We are a Matt McRobert podcast. We're hoping that we pick up Matt McRobert from Sam Houston State this offseason. Ideally, after the draft, we could probably snag him. And he's an Aussie, so he's a fun guy. Veteran of Past the Gravy podcast as well. So
loves a tinny.
But yeah, I don't know. Anybody that's not Riley Dixon at this point, Riley Dixon was not great.
Yeah, he was not. He didn't let it well.
We punted a lot. Hopefully, we're not punting that much this season, so it won't matter as much.
But apparently, I was doing a little bit of research on this guy, and apparently, where was it? So he got signed in. Well, he went undrafted in 2019, and then signed with the Cleveland Browns. And on his first, I think it was his first punt. It was in a preseason game, but his first punt. And this is on Wikipedia where it says he blasted a 74-yard punt. So this guy's got, I mean, have you seen a picture of this guy? Do you know this guy? He's like jacked as shit.
Yeah, I saw a picture when you had posted something about him today on the teaser. But another guy that I would not hate drafting, the San Diego State punter, that guy can punt the ball at 80 yards. And if you can punt the ball at 80 yards, you can flip the field no matter where you are. So I would also be down to have that's a weapon. That's a game changer right there. So maybe we load up that way. Not first round, but like I'm saying, like take him in the 5th, 6th round.
I mean, we called it a few weeks ago. Like we're gonna fill our team with kickers and punters.
Punters, and offensive line.
That's where we're going. Also, where I saw a lot of talk about potentially offloading Saquon Barkley. Where does he? Because he was drafted the year before Daniel Jones, right?
Yes.
So I don't know what his So is this? I guess his rookie contract's finished right now.
He might have one more year, like if they pick up the team option. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, if Saquon gets traded, I understand it. It just depends on what you're gonna get back for him. Saquon seems like he's more likely. I had heard you said Kadarius Toney. I don't think that's going to happen. He's too, he hasn't even played a full season really with us, and I think that we're going to be building an offense that goes around somebody like him, kind of like Stephon Diggs had the Bills offense kind of built around him. So I think that'll be a reason we keep him. I mean, anytime you have a new coaching staff, you're going to have all kinds of questions about like, what are they going to do? Where are they going to go with all of these guys? Like, are they going to fit? And I think that the way that Dable and his staff so far, and that includes our new offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka, who, no big deal. He worked with this guy named Patrick Mahomes. Perhaps you've heard of him. You know, he's an MVP, Super Bowl champ, but he's worked with him for the last couple of years. So that'd be awesome to have Daniel kind of do some Patrick Mahomes stuff. And then also Mike Kafka, Kafka-esque is like a word. Like, I want to start using that. We're like, our offense is very Kafka-esque, which I think means like there's impending doom, or it's like it's very bleak, but like we have a Kafka-esque offense. It sounds smart.
It's impending doom for the opposition, right? Not
exactly.
Us. Right. Okay.
And then we're also hiring in the process right now Wink Martindale, who up until this past season was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, and the Ravens had some pretty solid defenses over the years. Just look up Wink Martindale. His name's Wink, but the guy looks scary, and like you're not going to want to score on that guy's defense. You do not want Wink Martindale mad at you. And we have a pretty solid like core of our defense if we can actually get some pass rush going. I really like our secondary, and where our secondary is, if we can build some linebackers in along with everything we've got. I think that Martindale could thrive, and we could have ourselves a solid little defense going on. I really like the staff that Dable's got in place so far.
Just pulling this up here.
Wink
for those watching. Where is it?
For those of you not watching, you're not missing much right now. There we go. You're scoring that guy?
Christ.
You're scoring that guy? I don't think so.
Yeah, for those listening, I've just pulled up a picture of Wink Martindale, and he looks like he knows where some bodies are buried.
You don't want that guy mad at you because you didn't make a stop on third down. You don't want that guy mad at you.
God damn it.
You're going to be sleeping with the fishes, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, he's coming in. But word on the street, though, is our cap is not looking great, so I think we might have to offload some stuff.
You also can draft, and you get all that. There's definitely going to be some changes made. I don't know if it's going to be with like big name players. Saquon would be the most likely one, which is a big name player, but I don't think we're going to be offloading a ton of people. I wouldn't hate to have no Evan Ingram on the team, though. So that'd be cool.
He's got to be gone, surely.
Let's move on, you know? Move on past Evan Ingram. Move on.
Get rid of him. Alex O in the live chat. Did you watch the Pro Bowl, Mike? See, Mike, he only wants to know if I watched it. He doesn't care about your opinion, Alex.
He knows I did.
Yeah, I watched it. I had it on, I guess. But I didn't realize how... I knew it obviously wasn't going to be a very highly competitive game and hard-hitting. But how many times where the quarterback would like pass the ball off, and then the runner would run, and then it was basically like tag football. Someone would touch him, and then the ref would blow the whistle.
Yeah,
okay. I wasn't expecting it to be like smash mouth football. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't realize it was going to be like that soft. I was like, oh, okay, this is basically a televised practice. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I don't know. It was football. It's one of those things where you're like, damn it, we're about to have no football after next week, and then what do we do? I guess we have the USFL. We do have the USFL.
Yep, and then next year we've got the XFL. So much football.
XFL's back, yeah. As a part owner of an XFL franchise, I'm very excited to welcome back the Roughnecks.
You know the old saying, you can't judge a cover by its cover.
Great.
Yep.
That is a great point, Alex. So
that is a great point. Are you referring to the Pro Bowl or Wink Man? Because if this guy, apparently, yeah, wouldn't it be? He could be like the guy who's like he reads to the orphans, like he's
Wink
like the
Martindale
super nicest guy ever. He like donates.
Yeah, I read to the orphans. What's it to you? You're like, dude, I was just complimenting you. That's a really admirable thing to do. What's it to you? Who's asking? You're like, stop staring at me all scary like that, Wink Man. I like that he calls him Wink Man. He called him Wink Man. I didn't even realize. Alex O and I, same wavelengths. Same wavelengths.
Is a wingman like similar to a wingman, except like
No, we got our own wingman. Not everybody gets a wingman. We get wingman Martindale.
No, I just figured like what a wingman would be. It's like if you're out and you're like you say something ironic or whatever, and then your wingman jumps in and goes,
like you don't do
Get it?
You have a guy that does it for you.
yeah. I can't wink, so I got a wingman.
That would be a really funny. But you should have like a parrot, and the parrot can wink. JK!
Get it? Winkman. No. Winkman, it's the worst superhero ever.
Yeah.
What about a wingman who can't stop winking? This is like slowly becoming a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah. I like that idea too.
It's like, why is your friend winking at me so much?
He just likes it, alright? Leave him alone.
My friend's a really nice guy. You should hook up with him.
He winks at the wrong times.
Yeah. Wait, are you winking because I shouldn't hook up with your friend? No, you should.
You should
I don't get it.
I don't know. I just have this thing. I always wink after everything I say. It's making me not believe anything you say.
That's a terrible. Like, he has to give bad news. I'm afraid your father has died. What? Did he? What? I don't know.
It. I mean it.
Why does no one believe what I'm saying? Alex O wants Alex P to be his wingman. Hype me up tomorrow.
Oh, I think on Pass the Gravy, I've given somebody said that they introduced somebody to Pass the Gravy, and I was like, well, they're awesome. You should definitely date them. They're a great guy. And I was like, hey, if you want to introduce people to our podcast that you're dating or on dates, like I will hype you up in any way possible to said date, and then you can play them the clip from the podcast because that means there's one more listen to the podcast. So really, anybody who wants me to hype them up for dates, it's like I'm just your spokesman. Hi, Alex Middleton here. Just letting you know, Alex, so great guy. I might sleep with him on the first date.
Massive penis. My God.
Yeah, and little stuff like that. And then he plays it for the girl, and she's like, oh, okay. Cool dude.
Like, there was one time I was in the bathroom, and I was like...
strangers endorsement? That must be good enough for me.
So one time I was in the bathroom, and I was like, Alex, why did you bring your pet snake in here? Oh, it's...
Yeah, maybe not focus so much on the dick jokes, but he introduced a girl to Pass the Gravy. Yeah, he did.
I bet she loved it.
It did.
I bet she's now a weekly listener.
I hope so.
And maybe eventually she'll expand her horizons in the PGG
She'll
network.
become a New York Giants and West Ham fan, just spontaneously.
And then Alex will be on a date with a girl wearing this sweet t-shirt.
Merch.cbbpod.com is where you can get it. Mine came yesterday. I'll be wearing mine on Pass the Gravy tomorrow. And Pass the Gravy, bro. So you get a twofer of me wearing that shirt tomorrow.
As long as you don't fall asleep too early.
I won't.
Set your alarms. Listeners and hosts. Did you just be like, fuck that, I'm going to bed, or did you just pass out and like oversleep?
I passed out. So that was on me.
You played it off well though. Like, oh, due to technical issues, we don't made us in the show.
I said no pod tonight. Yeah.
Oh well. So yeah, we've kind of dived into that kind of thing. What are the good folks other than being a wingman for Alex O? What are the good folks got to look forward to and Pass the Gravy tomorrow?
I have some pretty solid ideas. We always start pod off with some good ideas that I have that Pat and Robert will inevitably try and shit on. But I've got a couple great ones, some all-time good ones coming up tomorrow. We'll get you ready for Valentine's Day. Talk a little Super Bowl. Pat and I have our final 2 picks before somebody will have to make good on the waffle bet, where the loser of our picks for the year is going to have to eat 24 waffles before they can eat anything else, no matter how long it takes them. So that'll be an interesting payout. I feel like that one of us will get. I'm up 2 games on Pat, so really, if I can crush 2 of them in the Super Bowl, I'm nails. So hopefully, I can get 2 right and wrap this bad boy up.
Is this gonna be filmed? Like, you're gonna do like a?
It'll be
blog?
documented on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You have to post every single one you're eating so we can tell. And if you don't post it, it doesn't count. You can't be like, well, this is actually the 4th one. It's like, well, I didn't see 3 other ones, so start over, buddy. And if you eat anything in between that's not waffle, you gotta start it all over from square one.
Is it waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
Nice.
Yeah,
segue.
in honor of Waffle Box.
Appreciate it.
You can listen to tomorrow. And what might you be listening for on Waffle Box this week?
Well, we're going to talk about Jackass. New Jackass Forever movie coming out. And then other things, including this woman who her parents bought her an Ancestry.com DNA kit for her 30th birthday. And when that DNA thing came back, it was like, guess what? That's not your dad. Whoa! So we're going to be talking about that on Waffle Box. And so
that
much
backfired.
more. Indeed. So, fuck, I wish I hadn't bought that for a gift.
Have you ever done any of that stuff, Ancestry? Or
No,
I've
been
I don't
tempted.
want anybody to have my DNA and be cloned.
I'm just worried about wasting the money because I'm like worried that I'm going to spend the money doing it, and then a couple of weeks later I'm going to get a report that's going to come back saying, "You're English and Irish. What do you expect?"
You're actually German. You're not even English. Your accent's
some
all
German.
lie.
I might.
If you're German, you go far enough back, you know what that means.
All right.
Like German and Argentinian is what you'd get. No,
But I'd want some. If I was to do, I want some like total left field shit. Like, oh, you're 25% Chinese. What?
That'd be wild.
It would be cool, right?
My brother gave us a dog DNA kit for my dog for Christmas one time, and we got it back, and it was like a percentage. It was like super mutt, and I was like, that is bullshit. You can't just say super mutt. That's not
That's
a
a
breed.
cop out.
That's not a breed. And it was dumb, but it was interesting to see, like, oh, you're this and part this, allegedly. But if you send anybody your DNA, they are going to clone you and then make the cloned version of you commit crimes that they can frame you for. So that's why I will not do that. Got to be ahead of them.
Smart thinking.
I just do a video podcast multiple times a week where they have all of my facial
Scan
features
my
that
face.
they can. Yeah, so they can't. They definitely can't do anything that way.
Deep fake the shit out of you.
They just don't have my DNA right away. They have to work a little bit harder.
They'll try. They'll
Yeah,
try.
they will. Yeah, they will.
Those robots that when they take over, they'll try anything. That would be crazy if Mike was part Mexican. I mean, I've got
You
the
could say
facial
it'd be
hair.
Loco, right? Hey, a little Spanish joke for you guys.
You get a little bit of everything on this show.
A little bit of everything.
Before we end, obviously, yes, make sure you check out Pass the Gravy and Waffle Box tomorrow on social media networks. It's at Pass the Gravy Pod and at Waffle Box Pod. I guess before we wrap up the show, we should end on who do we think? I don't know you're going to talk about in depth on Pass the Gravy, but are you excited about the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl this Sunday? Or
The Super Bowl?
are you not familiar with the Will Ferrell movie Semi Pro?
Oh, the Tropics?
Yeah, the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. Because we can't say the S word.
No, you just say Superb Owl.
Superb Owl.
'Cause-
This Sunday.
But we're not advertising, so we can say the Super Bowl.
With the halftime show coming in from M&M's and Nurse Andre.
Yep. And that's Michael
Snippy.
Kors.
Snippy Cat.
And Snoopy. MetLife. There we
What
go. Right?
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, nailed it.
Sure, why
Nailed
not?
it.
Do you wanna? Who you take it? Who you?
I feel like the Rams are gonna win, which makes me think the Bengals will. I think that it's a close one, but the Rams probably win. I think I'm gonna bet the Bengals.
Yeah, I've already put $5 on the Bengals to win with the spread. I know. That's gonna be a cool $9.40 that I'm gonna win on Sunday when they come in. But as I was saying before we went live, I actually opened up my Caesars app because we are all Caesars, just because the Mannings are on those commercials.
True, that's a good point.
Apparently, I had some money in there that I deposited and totally forgot about, so I'm just like putting on crazy bets because I'm like, this is free money.
You should go to the casino part of it and then just play like roulette and put it all on black or red and then just see where it goes from there. Then maybe you get a little bit more to bet on the Super Bowl.
God. Well,
I did that and lost like $40 playing blackjack the other day. I was like, that's dumb. This is why I bet sports and not cards.
Do you want to know my system on blackjack?
Get 21 as much as possible.
Not blackjack, sorry. Roulette.
Get an ace in a face card every single time.
That was kind of dumb. Yeah, roulette though. It's not obviously there's not a system because you got
land on the thing that the ball lands on. Pick that correctly beforehand.
But so when you go to the roulette table, they have the screen that tells you what the last number was.
No, don't base anything off of that. It's bullshit.
I know that's bullshit.
That. Okay. There's people that like it's been on 39 10
times.
Yeah. It's like
it's been like
nothing, right? It's a wheel.
No, each spin is independent of the last one. So just because it's been 5 red numbers doesn't mean it's gonna be a black next.
That's my favorite thing though. Watching people watch that board.
Well, I was watching a documentary. Fun fact about Las Vegas. Yeah, that is only there to hook people in. There is no information is given.
Well, it's been an odd number, 12 of the last 13. It's like that means nothing. It's like flipping a coin, dude.
And also, did you know that why most casinos in Las Vegas are designed in? There's no straight pathways in a casino.
So you'll stay longer.
No, so apparently because human nature is if you can't, I can't see around the corner. I want to see around the corner, so it makes you walk through the casino and be captured by more of the trap. It was a very interesting shit they go in there.
So why, all the rooms are never you can't just walk to the elevators and then go to your room. You have to walk through everything. On cruise ships too, you got to walk through the casino and a lot of it.
Because that's the only way really they make money. Because you're not making any money on the food and shit. Right, I imagine.
On cruises, you definitely are.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been on a cruise ship. Don't you get all inclusive? That dinner and shit.
But you pay a lot for the all inclusive.
Oh yeah. But I mean, once you're on it, you don't technically have to spend it.
If you drink alcohol, you gotta pay still. So they make that money.
Fuck that! I'm just gonna go to Aruba again, all inclusive, and get my free beer.
Yeah.
You should go there. You should check that out. Aruba. It's like. Aruba! Aruba!
Where did this podcast go? This podcast got off the rails a little bit. It was fun.
I mean, this is what you got to look forward to the next couple of months when there's no Giants to talk about as well.
We'll draft in a little bit.
We've got the draft, and then we're just gonna wing it till end of May, and then I guess take another break until Giants back. Anyway.
But we're gonna have fun doing it.
We're gonna have a fun ride, a fun journey. But yeah, so check us out. No one cares about the Winter Olympics.
If you're British, your team doesn't do anything, so that's why you don't care.
I don't think we've won a medal yet.
The Brits, we have won silver medals.
Congratulations.
But we're gonna win golds. Duh.
Duh.
You're the best.
Do you know which
curling
contests?
Curling and probably snowboarding and figure skating. I don't know.
Is there any hot Americans in those? Or just
I'm in
naming
Big Brother
the only
mode.
sports you know?
Olympics are on in the background. British hockey. I don't know. Well, they probably have a team. I don't think they qualified.
Well, one good thing, America will probably win Celebrity Big Brother. They'll get gold medal in that probably.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Let's see that.
When's the next episode of that?
Tomorrow. Pass Grade Bro, at Pass Grade Bro. Follow us.
When's the next episode? Is there an episode on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or
There's
Monday?
An episode on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday.
Maybe I'll catch up and make a run in on a Pasta Gravy Bro.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see.
So yes, check those all out. Let's just wrap this shit up because this has gone rogue again. But it's always fun. So yes, make sure if you are watching us on YouTube or Spotify, make sure you hit the follow, subscribe, and all that good shit. Tell a friend, tell a family member. Make sure you go to Waffle Box Pod or Pasta Gravy Pod on all social medias. Check that new episode's coming out tomorrow or Wednesday if you are listening or watching this on demand. And Pasta Gravy Bro, if you are watching Celebrity Brother, check that out with Alex and Emma. Beautiful. Right, that wraps up this another week. So like I say, we'll be skipping next week because we are a avid supporter of Valentine's Day, and you know we don't want to
Doing it in protest.
do it in protest
For what Zuma did to the cat.
Yeah.
That's us. And we're also protesting. Yeah.
If you're not happy about it, Wink's gonna get you.
You don't want Wink coming after you.
He's like
Not the Wink man.
He's like Freddy. He'll come into your sleep, into your dreams. He'll fuck you up. But until next week, don't forget.
Seahorses forever.
And when it comes to West Ham,
Guys, the boys are back in town.
see you in 2 weeks.
Hey, let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown.
Can't hear shit.
Never mind.